Life often brings us books and teachings that touch our hearts and minds in a very deep way. Today, we will talk about one of the greatest ancient philosophers, Lao Tzu. He is remembered as the founder of Taoism, and he wrote a small yet powerful book called the Tao Te Ching. Though it is short, this book is filled with timeless wisdom. It is made up of simple verses, almost like poetry, that reveal the deepest truths about life. The Tao Te Ching speaks about the Tao, the way. But what is this way? It is the natural path that guides all of existence. It is the same force that shifts the seasons, that opens a flower in spring, and that carries a river gently downstream. Taoism teaches us to live in harmony with this natural flow, just as water moves along its path without struggle, without force, and yet always finds its way forward. Here on the Oracle Sanctum, our goal is to share wisdom like this, philosophies that not only expand your mind but also help you reconnect with yourself on a deeper level. In this journey, we are going to explore gentle Taoist practices that can help you bring balance, peace, and simplicity into the chaos of modern life. But before we dive into those habits, think for a moment about the world we live in today.
Life feels fast.
Our days are filled with endless noise, phones buzzing, deadlines pressing, messages waiting for our reply.
From the moment we wake up until the moment we fall asleep, we are caught in a race.
And in this rush, something important slips away. We lose touch with our own stillness. This is why Taoist habits are so valuable. They are not strict rules or heavy routines. Instead, they are small, gentle ways of slowing down, breathing, and coming back to yourself. They remind us that life is not just what happens outside, in the noise, but also what is quietly present within us. Think about how most of us begin our day. The alarm rings, and almost immediately, we grab our phone. We check messages, scroll through notifications, or start planning the tasks ahead. Stress enters our body before we even step out of bed. That rush sends a signal to the mind that this moment isn't enough, that we have to get somewhere else quickly, that life needs to be controlled and managed right away. But Taoism tells us something very different. It teaches that the deepest truth of life is always found here, in this moment. And if we can start our day with stillness, even for a few minutes, the entire day can take on a different, softer shape. Imagine this. When you wake up, instead of reaching for your phone, you simply sit.
You breathe slowly. You notice your body waking up, your thoughts coming and going, the soft rhythm of your breath.
You may hear birds outside, or the faint sound of the world beginning again. Nothing is forced. Nothing is planned. You are simply here, allowing yourself to exist before the noise of the world enters. At first, it may feel strange. The mind will want to move, to think, to rush. But if you keep practicing, even for just 5 or 10 minutes each morning, something begins to shift. That silence starts to feel like a home you've always known but forgotten to return to.
When you begin your day in this quiet way, you carry it with you.
The world will still bring challenges, delays, or unexpected problems, but you won't be shaken as easily. You'll have space to pause, to breathe, and to respond calmly instead of reacting in a rush. It is like moving through the day the way water flows around rocks in a river. The rocks are there, the obstacles are there, but the water does not fight them. It simply moves gently forward, always finding a path. This stillness also changes how you experience the little things. Drinking a cup of tea, folding your clothes, or walking outside, all these simple acts begin to feel alive when you are present with them. Taoism reminds us that life is not somewhere else, waiting at the end of a checklist.
Life is here, in these small, ordinary moments.
And when you start your day with silence, you learn to recognize this truth. The message of this first part is simple but powerful. Begin your day with stillness. Give yourself just a few quiet minutes in the morning before the world comes rushing in. This gentle pause creates space inside you, space to breathe, space to notice, space to simply be. And in that space, you realize something important. Life doesn't need to be chased. It only needs to be lived, in harmony with its natural flow. As we move deeper into Taoist wisdom, one of the most beautiful lessons is learning how to act without struggle. Lao Tzu once wrote, "The Tao never does anything, yet through it, all things are done." This captures the heart of a principle known as Wu Wei. It doesn't mean doing nothing or being lazy. Instead, it means effortless action, moving with the natural flow of things rather than forcing them, just like water flowing around a stone. The water does not fight, it does not resist, and yet it always finds its way forward. In our daily lives, we often find ourselves pushing too hard. We rush from one task to another, we try to control every outcome, and we feel anxious when things don't go as planned. This constant struggle creates exhaustion, both in the body and in the mind. Taoism invites us to pause and ask, what if life doesn't need to be forced? What if things could happen more naturally if we allowed them to? You may notice this in small moments. Perhaps you're cooking, and you're rushing to finish quickly, multitasking, thinking about the next thing on your list. But if you slow down and let yourself move with ease, the cooking itself becomes softer, calmer, even joyful. Or when you're speaking with someone, instead of filling every silence with words, you allow pauses to happen. That silence creates space for connection, for understanding, and for deeper presence. Wu Wei is about recognizing when you are pushing too hard and gently stepping back. It might mean taking a short walk when your mind feels heavy, or waiting a little longer before making a decision, allowing clarity to rise on its own. It could mean breathing deeply when you feel the urge to react quickly, and letting your response come from stillness rather than stress. Life has a rhythm of its own. Just as the seasons change without effort, just as the trees grow without rushing, there is a natural timing to everything. When we stop fighting against that timing, life begins to feel lighter. Problems do not always need immediate solutions. Some things settle on their own if we allow them to. Answers often arrive not when we demand them, but when we grow quiet enough to hear them. This gentle way of living does not make us passive. In fact, it often makes us wiser in our actions. Because when you are no longer reacting out of fear or tension, your choices are clearer.
You move when it feels right, not when the world pressures you to move.
You let your energy flow toward what is natural rather than forcing it toward what feels heavy or out of alignment. At first, this may seem difficult. We are taught that control is strength, that rushing brings success, that struggling harder means we are working properly. But over time, you begin to notice that constant effort often drains you without bringing peace. Taoism offers a softer strength, the strength to trust life, to bend without breaking, to flow rather than fight.
Imagine a river again.
If you try to force it to go straight, you will exhaust yourself and still fail. But if you move with it, you find the power of its current carrying you forward.
This is the spirit of Wu Wei.
It is not about being inactive. It is about aligning yourself with life so that your actions arise naturally, without friction, without the feeling of swimming against the current.
As you live this way, something inside you changes.
You no longer feel that everything rests on your shoulders. The heavy weight of constant control begins to lift. You feel more balanced, more patient, less rushed. You stop being pulled into every little irritation, every demand for your reaction. Instead, you create space to breathe, to wait, and to respond when the time is right.
And slowly, the world feels softer. Life begins to feel like a dance rather than a battle.
You walk with life instead of against it. Each step may still hold challenges, but those challenges no longer feel like struggles. They become part of the flow, part of the journey. With each day, you discover that peace doesn't come from controlling everything. It comes from letting go, from trusting that life already knows how to move forward, just as rivers find their way to the sea. One of the most gentle yet powerful truths in Taoism is the wisdom of returning to simplicity. We live in a world where complexity is everywhere. Endless responsibilities, constant notifications, and a stream of desires telling us we always need more. More success, more possessions, more recognition. And yet, Lao Tzu reminds us that when life becomes too full, it loses its natural balance. Just like a cup that overflows when it is too full, our minds and our days overflow when we take on more than we truly need. Simplicity is not about giving everything up or living in emptiness. It is about choosing what truly matters. It is about clearing away the unnecessary, so that what is essential can shine more brightly. When we live simply, we stop chasing things that never bring lasting peace, and instead, we discover the quiet beauty that has always been around us. Imagine your life like a room filled with too many objects. At first, you think every item is important, but after a while, the room feels crowded, heavy, and hard to move through. When you begin to remove what you don't truly need, suddenly the space feels open, light, and peaceful. In the same way, Taoist simplicity creates space inside you.
It clears away the noise so you can feel calm and alive again.
This doesn't have to mean dramatic changes. It can be as simple as paying attention when you eat, instead of rushing. It can mean stepping outside to feel the breeze, instead of filling every quiet moment with screens. It can be choosing to let go of a commitment that drains you, or deciding that you don't need to own more things to feel complete. Simplicity is not about lack. It is about freedom. When you begin to live with simplicity, you notice the small miracles you had overlooked before.
The sound of rain on the roof. The comfort of a warm drink. The laughter of someone you love.
These ordinary things begin to feel extraordinary because your mind is no longer buried under layers of noise and distraction. Simplicity lets you experience life more directly, more clearly, more fully. And in this way, simplicity connects you back to yourself and to others. When you are not rushing, when you are not distracted, you can listen more deeply. You can see others more clearly. You can be fully present, and in that presence, real connection grows. This is why Taoism teaches that the simple life is not just peaceful, but also deeply fulfilling. As we reach the end of this journey through Taoist wisdom, remember these 3 gentle practices. Begin your day with stillness, so you carry peace into everything you do. Move with the flow of life instead of against it, allowing effortless action to guide your path. And embrace simplicity, so that your heart and mind remain light and open to the beauty of the present moment. These are not heavy rules. They are gentle invitations, small habits that slowly transform the way you live. They help you remember that peace is not something distant, waiting for you to achieve more or have more. Peace is already here, in the silence, in the flow, in the simplicity of this very moment. Thank you for walking this path with us today. If these words touched you, or if you felt even a little more calm and grounded while listening, we invite you to continue this journey with us. Here, at the Oracle Sanctum, we share timeless wisdom and ancient teachings to guide you toward balance in the modern world. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe, so that together we can keep exploring the depths of philosophy and the beauty of living in harmony. Until we meet again, may you carry stillness, flow, and simplicity into your days, and may peace walk gently beside you always.